Notorious Norsemen, the most ruthless and brutal Danish Vikings who ever lived. Episode number 1. For almost 300 years, warriors from the region we now know as Scandinavia were among the most feared across all of Europe. At first, the Viking battled between themselves in Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and nearby regions. As they became unit, they invaded the British Isles and France and took part in raids as far south as Italy. They discovered and colonized new lands in Iceland, Greenland, and North America. They were uncompromisingly brutal and strategically smart. As a result, the Viking era has become a period steeped in legends, and many of its heroes and villains remain notorious today. Here is a few of the cruelest, most fierce, and most celebrated Vikings who ever lived. Ragnar Lodbrok. In the middle years of the 9th century, Ragnar became so fierce for his raids on villages in Britain and the Holy Roman Empire that one French king paid him great riches to avoid attack on his land and against his subjects. Ragnar was also the father of many notorious Viking sons, including Ivan the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, and Sigurd Snake in the Eye. Bjorn Ironside. Bjorn is also believed to have traveled with his brother through England to various regions of France and across the European continent, including a legendary siege at the Italian town of Luni. Bjorn tricked his way into Luni by sending a letter to the town's bishop to say he had died after a deathbed conversion to Christianity. He begged that he might be buried by the church. After the funeral party was invited into the town, Bjorn leaped from his coffin and opened the perimeter gates to let the Viking forces inside. Ivan the Boneless. Whether truth or legend, Ivan the Boneless offers a cautionary tale of why you should never anger a Viking. When King Ella of Northumbria hurled Ragnar Lodbrok into a pit of snakes, it did not sit well with the murdering Viking sons, the youngest of who was Ivar. Despite suffering from a condition that left his bone brittle and prone to breaking, Ivan rode upon a shield and led his brothers into battle. King Ella was captured in York in 1866. Some believed that the Englishman was tortured and killed by the Blood Eagle, a merciless death that saw the shape of an eagle carved into his back, his ribs served from his spine, and his lungs spread out like wings. After the execution, Ivan slaughtered his way across Britain and settled in Dublin until his natural death. Bluetooth. Almost every one of us is within touching distance of a Bluetooth-enabled device at this very moment. But how many of us know how it got its name? In the 10th century, Harald Gursom united Denmark under his rule before extending his influence into Norway. The Swedish phone company Ericsson, which invented Bluetooth wireless technology, adopted the name due to its association with the unification. Due to a dead tooth, which appeared blue, Harald was nicknamed Blåtand or Bluetooth. Bluetooth the Viking fought much of his life against German invaders. At first he lost, but bid his time and drove the aggressor out again years later. Bluetooth's reign came to an end as the result of a revolution led by his own son, Svend Forkbeard. My last Viking king in this episode is Knud the Great. One of the most successful Vikings who ever lived, Knud the Great, was the ruler of 3 countries by the time he died in 1035. Through brutal and merciless violence, Knud started in England, became the first Viking king to unite the nation in 1016. Two years later, he took the throne of Denmark. It took another decade for Knud to complete what would become known as the North Sea Empire by also winning the crown of Norway. Despite his achievement, Knud has become best remembered from suffering from such hubris. He believed he could control the waves and command the tide not to raise. An experiment that, needless to say, resulted in nothing but embarrassment. Your support means the world to me. Please give my page a follow to keep up with my latest posts, and don't forget to hit that like button and share my contents with friends and family. Thank you for being a part of my journey.